Hello, I'm back. Right now I'm going to be doing one of these tier list bad boys that, I don't think anyone's done this one yet, so I'm feeling pretty original. Uncle Adam style.
I'd much rather be original. Hashtag blessed.
That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm going to review the Big Bang Theory comments at another point because they're hilarious. We're going to get into the Crash tier list. Alright, so we'll start off with the obvious king of the Crashes. We have old mate Crash Bandicoot. I think he's going to go in S tier for now. He's had some great games. He's got a new one coming out, which I'm very excited for. There's a big, strong place in my heart. This list is going to be super biased, by the way. I'm going to be like all those funny YouTubers that say, "Believe it or not, this video is my opinion." Like, duh. Okay, thanks. We move on. We got Crash in S tier. Crash Bandicoot in S tier. I have a feeling he's going to stay in there. Now we're going to go to Crash from Ice Age. Now he was introduced in the second one, which was about the ice caps melting or something. I can't really remember it. Drake was in it.
Drake voices Ethan, a young, strapping, handsome mammoth who is great at turtle football.
Maybe not. Maybe that was the third one. Maybe this guy wasn't even in the second one. No, this guy was definitely in the second one because in the third one they introduced the guy with the eye patch who I like. So Crash, he's not really much without his brother whose name is like Burn? Wait. Ice Age Crash. I actually don't know the brother's name. Eddie. Crash and Eddie. Okay, so Crash is obviously the superior of the two based on the name alone. Fucking Eddie. But in saying that, they don't have much staying power, I don't think. I forgot about the character until I started this list. So I'm actually going to put him in C for now, just because, he's not very memorable. Crash and Bernstein. Now, this was one of those shitty Disney Channel sitcoms they were making in, like, the 2015s. Now, some of the older ones, they all have the canned laughter, I know, but some of the older ones were relatively funny. They were a bit more creative and well written. The jokes were actual jokes. This one falls into the category of sort of like Big Bang Theory comedy where they'll say something. It's not really a joke. Like there's a level of like, to it, but then they'll like flood it with that fucking laughter, which really takes away any enjoyment for me. It's not the 60s anymore. We don't need that. They're definitely worse than Crash from Ice Age. I'm going to watch a clip of Crash and Bernstein. I'm going to put him in F for now, and I'm just going to watch a quick Crash and Bernstein clip to see how I feel about the first joke that I see. Educating Crash. This will be good.
On YouTube.
Crash, you're going to fall.
Why do you say that?
That's hot rack is not a swing, the dishwasher is not a sauna, and the crock pot is not a toilet.
Like, I feel bad for the actors, because they're definitely told to say it in that, like, really snarky way that just frustrates me to no end.
Sorry about the crock pot. You didn't have to throw it away.
I really did.
Yeah.
Mom, we need to have a serious talk about Crash.
Oh, goody, my favorite subject.
That's just too obnoxious. I'll give it points for Jewish representation. Disney Channel shovelware. It's shit. Up next, Crash Holly, WWE superstar of like the 90s, I think. Now, there's Crash Holly and there's Hardcore Holly, and if you know one of them, it's more likely going to be Hardcore Holly. Crash Holly, I don't know how long his stint in the WWE was, but Hardcore Holly's always the one that's name sort of stuck to me. In WWF SmackDown, I would play as Crash simply because he was named Crash and I was a little soy boy crash cuck. I don't think he was too interesting. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing I did with Crash and Bernstein. I'm going to look into him. If I remember this music, if I have a little nostalgia shock, I might bump him up a bit. I think it's the same song as Hardcore Holly. Now that I know that they're different, I'm going to re-listen to the Crash Holly one. Crash Holly entrance song goes hard. Now I'm just going to look him up because I don't really know his career too well. Oh, he's dead. Crash Holly's getting an honorary A. The song goes hard and it's sort of to respect his legacy. Poor guy. Wow, that's really thrown me off. Okay, Next one is Crash Talk, the Schoolboy Q album. I'm not too big a fan of this one. Oxymoron I really like. Blank Face was good. It wasn't as good as Oxymoron. And Crash Talk, I ain't really drunk, I ain't really drunk. I didn't like that song. Chopsticks is kind of fun. I really enjoyed it when I was at a festival. But you know, that environment's very particular. It's not memorable to me. I don't remember it. So in the same way that Crash from Ice Age isn't very memorable, neither is Crash Talk, so I think they're on a similar level, if you think about it that way. Up next, we have Computer Crash, and obviously going in F. No one likes it when the computer crashes. Maybe I'm editing a video or making a dope song, and just... It's fucking frustrating. That one's obvious. But here we have Crash Mode from Burnout. And that's the only reason I play Burnout. I got, where is it? I got Burnout from Savers just for the Crash mode. That's S tier. It's such a unique concept for like game mode. Crush as many cars as you can, cause a pile up, and get points for it, you get rewarded for it, it's amazing. So move on to the next one, which is real life car crashes. Not good. I've seen a few car accidents. I've been hit by 2 cars, but I've never been in a car crash. Now that I've said that, I worry for myself. So they're definitely going to go into F tier. They're very unpleasant. People can get hurt. The duality of this. Crash mode right at the top, but a real life car crash right at the bottom. You know, they say video games cause violence, but here I am getting all my car crashes out of my system in crash mode. And, you know, feeling sorry for the real victims of crash mode in real life, I guess. So we'll move on from there. Keep bringing this mood down. From car crashes, we'll go to plane crashes. I think these are even worse than car crashes, honestly. They're very rare, definitely not good. Now, they're going to go in F tier as well. So far for F tier, we have plane crashes, car crashes, computer crashes, and Crash and Bernstein. I still think the show is on a similar level to these 2 tragedies and this minor inconvenience. Next up, we have Crash Magazine. Now, this was a really cool little magazine I would read when I was in like grade 6 or something. I was 12. I entered a few competitions. I'd always have a fun time looking through it, but, you know, it was never anything special, and I never won anything, so I don't want to put it up too high. I don't have too many fond memories of it besides there was this really cool Wolverine toy set that I tried to win, and I wrote like this 25 words or less why I love Wolverine. I guess I didn't love him enough because I didn't get it. So he's going in B tier. We have an alright balance here. We have crashing on the couch. You know, you've had a big night, a lot of drinks, and you're at your mate's house. It's like 2 in the morning, you can't be bothered walking home. You crash on the couch and you wake up hungover, and you make some toast, and you rack your friend's bread. And it's a bit of fun. I think crashing on the couch is S tier. You know, if you're that tired and you just crash on a couch, you may wake up with a sore back, or if the couch is leather, that shit's gonna stick. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty nice. I miss that. Up next, we have wedding crashes. Now, when I was a young kid, I was probably 13 when I saw this. Maybe younger. And I think just because of the raunchiness of it, I was like, you know, I'm a little kid. I'm like, oh man, this is like the coolest movie ever. But thinking back on it now, the characters are kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. The whole premise of the film is very strange. It's not the worst movie ever. It has some really strange messaging in it, but it's sort of out of everyone's memory at the moment, so I think any damage that it would have caused is done. No one's talking about this movie anymore, so I don't think it should be in F tier. I think he's going to go in C tier. Yeah, I think C tier is good for Wedding Crashes. It's probably worse than Crash Talk. Maybe on a similar level. No, it's worse than both of these. Yeah, I should have put some more letters in, but, you know, you live and learn. This is my first time doing this.
You okay, hun?
No. And last we have the 2007 housing market crash, based on the film The Big Short, starring Michael from The Office and Batman, Christian Bale, and Steve Carell or Carroll? Steve Carell. Whatever. You know, a lot of people lost their jobs, lost their houses, lost their money because some investors were trying to, not scam, I don't really know the whole story behind this, but whenever something like this happens, it's always the people at the top that are causing it and eating those at the bottom. So that's definitely going in F tier. It's probably better than plane crashes and car crashes, but I think it's worse than Crash and Bernstein. Let's go over it, shall we? So in S tier, we have Crash Bandicoot, Crash Mode, and Crashing on the Couch. which I think they're all like top tier things. Crash mode, so fun. Crash Bandicoot, especially like CTR, so fun. Crashing on the couch, just a nice vibe. Can't complain about that. There's no negative to crashing on the couch unless you've been like kicked out of bed by like the woman you love. In the context I'm saying it in, I think it's good. In A tier, we have Crash Holly, may he rest in peace. B tier, Crash Magazine. It's just alright. C tier is for like the sort of non-memorable, poorly aged stuff, I guess. Crash Talk, Crash from Ice Age, and Wedding Crashers. Crash Talk is by no means a shit album. It's just not very good or memorable. Crash from Ice Age, he's nothing without his brother Eddie, and he's still kind of an annoying character if I remember right. And then in F tier we have Crash and Bernstein, Computer Crashes, Car Crashes, Plane Crashes, and the 2007 housing market crash. All pretty horrible things, I think. Yeah, I think this is good. Suggest what is next. Maybe when ISO's done I'll get some friends to help me out with this, like Frank or Matt. If you're watching this, this is a threat now.